So I'm just going to dive into some videos because I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to say, yeah, this is the video. I happen to know I want to pass this over to my Mimir. So I'm going to copy it to my Mimir watch vault, is where I've been chucking a few videos. I've been playing around with this today. So we've been sending videos in and out, and I can quickly and easily log into the Mimir front end as well. And on the left-hand side, I can see, the stuff we've been playing with. Now, my colleagues have been playing with other vaults, but I happen to set mine up in here and called it Mimir Clips. Straight away, I can see Nick's faceplate video is here already. I've got it available to me to play, and I've got it available here to hand over to Steiner, who's obviously a good few hundred miles away from me, and he's also got the same view on the same assets.
So the content that he brought in, he had a vault called Mimir Clips. And if I go to this folder, I can see this OM faceplate shaving mirror. That was the file that Mark added to a vault. So the high-res version of this file sits in Cardiff, or is it in London? I'm not really sure. But the high-res is still sitting on the Matrix storage over there. And then our Kelda server, our on-premise agent, which also runs in their data center, has produced a proxy version of this. So when I'm working in Adobe Premiere Pro, I'm currently in proxy mode. And you can pretend I'm in my home office where I don't have access to any of this on my editing machine, but I can import this as proxy by clicking the import button. And now the Mimir panel, which is available as a normal extension in Adobe Premiere Pro, will grab the proxy version, which actually sits in cloud storage. So the proxy is in cloud, but the high-res is still in Cardiff. And I can use this in many different ways. I can also open it up, and I can do the same type of editing. So let me just grab some frames from this one. Mark an in point, an out point, and drag it in here. So I have now a sequence. And then I also want to show you that I can work very much the same way that you saw with the, I can actually use the same clip. This one here also has the transcript. And I can import this into my bin, and I will get the item imported here. And I can also work with the text. So now you see I do an in and out point selection, and I can import this as a sub clip to Premiere Pro, where it adds just a reference to the same clip. So it's this one here, from the word I to the word things, which is exactly the sentence I added or selected. So I add that subclip to my sequence, and I'm still working just in proxy here, and I can also continue to go beyond it because we have more media on the sides, of course. So I have access to the full Adobe Premiere Pro workflow with access to my entire archive. Some of the high-res can be on Matrix storage on-premise. Some of the content can be in my cloud storage, in my cloud bucket. And Mimir can present a unified search and access to that media in a very easy way. And the final step is to actually do the render. And if I'm producing this for social media, I could render it out on my machine. This is typically a 1080p proxy, which is good enough for using on YouTube. But if this is a workflow for broadcast, then you want to, of course, do the conform using the high-res material. And I can do that by just jumping back to, let's say, I'm going to go into my folder, and I'm going to export my sequence to my folder. So now I can say this is my Steiner edit from Norway, and I will click now the central render button, which will make this render in high-res, not on my machine, but actually on Mark's infrastructure in Cardiff. So if I click upload sequence, our Premiere panel will now upload this sequence as just a Premiere project file, which is, of course, no size at all. And that means I'm not transporting any high-res material to my editing PC. And I'm not working over remote desktop or anything. This is a native local client running on my machine. So I have the full quick and nice workflow with all the audio channels and everything. And then when I'm exporting this back, we basically send the project file via the cloud, which is being picked up now and has been delivered to an Adobe Media Encoder, which Mark had on his diagram, which sits in Cardiff just next to the MatrixStore, so that the high-res is now being rendered directly without any movement of the high-res files. So now it has been rendered, and we see that high-res is now available. So for broadcast production workflows, this is now available to send straight to a playout server in the studio, and it can be played out in full broadcast quality. The next steps that Mimir will do now, this is now being transcoded again in Cardiff, so that we can move a proxy version of this up to the cloud, so that all users can see the edited sequence without having access to the high-res material. So this is now being processed and will be brought back into Mimir as a normal item. I can also see the edit relations here. So when I go into this edit that I did, I can see here what source media was used to produce this one. So we also do media tracking so that you can see where the content comes from that went into creating the sequence. And also the other way around, if I go into Mark's faceplate clip, I can see that it has been used in this edit.
Just from my side, I can see the Adobe Media Encoder took it, it's run through, and it's back in the MatrixStore to use as we see fit or share out from there.